I've carefully read all your comments in several of my videos and shorts to help me identify what kind of topic needs to be addressed. This is why I've decided to share with you the top 10 mistakes I've made when playing Phasmophobia so that hopefully you, as a first-time player or just somebody new to the game, do not make. It all starts with being able to distinguish ghost behavior such as doors being touched, items being thrown, to environmental sounds like floors creaking, as well as any other background sounds that each map has. Oftentimes, players will rush into a map with a thermometer looking for differences in room temperature. Though this is a decent approach to finding the ghost room, I want to mention that it does take time finding the ghost room this way, as the premise does take time to cool down upon entering. Instead, here's what I suggest. Walk in with an EMF, a flashlight, and any other optional item. While visiting each room to see if anything looks out of place, listen for any doors being touched, any items being thrown, and rush to the location with the EMF. If you get an EMF reading in that room, you know that you found the location the ghost was in. Then all you would have to do next is wait for the cold breath to appear to verify that that is in fact the ghost room. This brings me to my next point. Cold breath doesn't always equal freezing temps or the ghost room. All cold breath signifies is that the room that you're getting the cold breath in is 5 degrees Celsius or below. This can be a bit confusing when playing on a map with snowy weather turned on, as all rooms will give you cold breath. When playing on most other weather types, cold breath will let you know that you are in fact in the ghost room. At some point, you still will have to remember to bring in a thermometer to verify freezing temps, which would equal to 0.9 degrees Celsius or below. When playing on modes Nightmare or Insanity that only give you 1 to 2 pieces of evidence, it's important to remember not to misinterpret evidence. I just mentioned how not to misinterpret freezing temps, but I also want to mention that there are other ways that a player can find themselves scratching their head after finding out the ghost type that they entered was wrong. This is because there are a few other ways in which we could get our evidence wrong. When playing on modes Amateur, Intermediate, or Professional, we have the tendency to cross off a piece of evidence on the list when the ghost does not interact with a particular item or when that evidence just doesn't show. In a 3 evidence mode, you can cross that evidence off the list, narrowing down the possible ghost selection. In modes where there are only 1 to 2 pieces of evidence available to you, you wouldn't be able to do that since that might be the game's way of hiding that 1 of 3 pieces of evidence from you. What that means is that though the ghost might be a ghost type with ghostwriting, for example, that might be the piece of evidence being hidden, forcing you to find the other 2 pieces of evidence. This also goes for not being able to see ghost orbs, not hearing a response on the spirit box, and so on. Not knowing where to hide is a common mistake I see in many players. There are a couple of ghosts out of the possible 24 that are early hunters and at different sanity ranges. Because having an exit plan is crucial to surviving, always check what hiding spots are available in case of unexpected hunts. That being said, ignoring your sanity can get you in a lot of trouble if not watched carefully. Many of the ghosts can begin hunting around the 50% sanity mark, with some being able to do so a lot sooner. If not careful, you can find yourself having a difficult time during your investigation due to any unexpected hunts. You can find that spending too much time in the ghost room can drain your sanity fast. There are ghosts that can lower your sanity in different ways. Some of these ways include door touching while you're around, witnessing ghost events, or simply being around the ghost event for too long. If you need more time in the ghost room to collect evidence, always keep track of your sanity by checking it in one of the activity monitors in the truck, and pop some sanity meds when you think you're running low. Many people aren't aware of this, but using a cursed possession is another way to drain your sanity fast, or even provoke the ghost to hunt right away. The music box is used to find where the ghost room is by listening to where it's singing from. The more you hold the music box while it's playing, the more it drains your sanity. Keep in mind that dropping the music box can provoke the ghost to instantly hunt no matter how much sanity you have. Though getting the ghost to hunt by pushing in the heart pin on the voodoo doll doesn't instantly drain your sanity, it can cause the ghost to hunt. Alternatively, each other pin pushed in forces activity from the ghost at the cost of a tiny bit of sanity. Be careful with how many pins you push in, as you could get the ghost to hunt if your sanity reaches a low enough threshold. Using the Ouija board lowers your sanity by a considerable amount each time you ask it a question. Playing hide and seek will force the ghost to hunt once it's done counting. Be careful with this one. You could also ask it some other questions like where the bone is or how old it is to see if you're dealing with a they. The haunted mirror will let you know where the ghost is currently. The longer you look into it, the more your sanity drains. Staring into the mirror for too long will cause the mirror to break, triggering a ghost event from its current location. Alternatively, a ghost may choose to hunt if your sanity is too low, regardless of whether or not the mirror has broken, so be mindful of that. While using the monkey paw, wishing to see the ghost will cause blindness for the duration of the hunt. This will also cause the ghost to hunt from its current location. Wishing for knowledge will cross off one of the pieces of evidence that are not applicable for that ghost in exchange for becoming severely blinded and deafened for the rest of the investigation. Additionally, the ghost will also begin a hunt from your current location. Lighting each candle on the summoning circle drains a portion of your sanity. Lighting all of the candles will cause the ghost to hunt from the circle. Lastly, the tarot cards. These are tricky because of how many things it can do, so I'll list them here for your knowledge. The Tower card doubles all ghost activity for 20 seconds. The green Wheel of Fortune grants you 25% sanity, while the red one reduces 25%. The Fool negates whatever card was drawn originally. The Devil card triggers a ghost event towards the nearest player. The Death card forces a ghost hunt. The Hermit teleports the ghost to the ghost room and traps it there for 1 minute. The Sun card sets your sanity at 100%. The Moon card drains your sanity to 0%. And the Hangman, well, that just sends you back to the lobby without any of the rewards. Understanding ghost hunt phases can be very tricky for anyone, especially if you haven't got a timer ready to start once you first smudge the ghost. It's always important to keep track of how long it takes for the ghost to hunt after being smudged so that you can differentiate between a demon, which is able to hunt from the 1 minute mark, a spirit which can only hunt from the 3 minute mark and up, and any other ghost that can hunt as soon as the 1 minute and 30-second mark. Also, it's important to know that the more activity you get from the ghost room, the more likely it is to hunt. Ignoring smudge sticks can end your run if you're not careful. I've mentioned this before, but also forgetting your lighter is just as bad as forgetting the smudge itself. Many of you already know this, but I'll say it again. Amateur mode allows for a 5-minute grace period and where the ghost cannot hunt during this time unless you use a cursed possession. This zeroes out the timer. Intermediate allows for a 2-minute grace period, and anything from professional and up has no grace period from when the ghost can begin a hunt. This means that early hunters like a demon, yokai, or a fae can hunt as soon as you enter the premise depending on your sanity level, so keep that in mind during your investigation. Lastly, leaving the cursed possessions unused can make or break hitting the ghost type correct, especially when you're playing on nightmare or insanity modes where you're only allowed 1 to 2 pieces of evidence out of the possible 3. When using them, always find a safe hiding spot so that if you happen to trigger a hunt, at least you'll have a shot at making it out alive. I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with a bonus mistake that many of you guys watching this video make, and that is not liking this video or subscribing to my channel. Because here, I have tons of guides for leveling, completing your apocalypse challenges, and any other tips that'll help you become a better player. I hope all of this helped you guys out, and as always, happy hunting everyone.